Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This tutorial is meant to be for a character from the series Attack on Titan, the anime series, the new anime series, I believe that's what it's called. I've not watched it yet, but I'm going to eventually, I promise. But a lot of people have been requesting that I do one of the Titans from that series. So I've chosen this one for now. This is Eren, I believe his name is, in his Titan form. I've done a bit of research. But yeah, a few people have wanted to see this look, so I thought I'd give it a go. I think the only thing I'm missing really is having a better body, so sorry about this. Yeah, but yeah, a ton of people have requested this recently, so I'll flash on the screen now the first few people that requested it. But the first person who requested it a long time ago, and it was Horse Rider XOX. Yeah, I'll pop your name there, so thank you. Thanks everyone that requested it, but you were the first person, so yay. So yeah, if you'd like to see how to recreate this Titany madness, stay tuned. So to start things off, I'm going to block out both my eyebrows. Make sure to apply an extra layer of Spirit Gum after you've done the first layer of Spirit Gum and the wax, because I'm going to be applying a fair amount of liquid latex to my forehead and I want it to be extra safe, so when I remove it I don't remove my eyebrows with it. So yeah, doing an extra layer of Spirit Gum afterwards should make it quite safe. So I'll pop a link here to a tutorial I've done in the past to teach you guys how to block them out, just to make this video a little bit shorter. And yeah, I'll get back to you after I've done it. So then I'm going to need to start working on building up this really furrowed angry brow. So rather than using like a gelatin prosthetic, I'm going to do it with liquid latex again, because a lot of people out there seem to prefer me doing this. Plus it's easier to get hold of, I suppose, and it doesn't involve sculpting, and that's Cosmo in the background, sorry. So then I'm going to take some liquid latex and a sponge, and I'm going to start building up. So I'm going to apply maybe 2 to 3 layers first, all over my forehead, over my brows, and letting that dry in between before I can start adding up by building up with some tissue. So then I can take some regular tissue paper, which I've torn in two, so I have the thinner halves, and then I can rip that into strips, probably about that, maybe a bit smaller, and then I can just saturate the area in more liquid latex and press the tissue down, and then just coat that in latex. Asking me about how I managed to get it so smooth. Using a sponge really does help. I mean, I tend to do maybe about 5 to 7 layers of tissue and latex in the end, and then on the very final coat I just dip my fingers in the latex and just smooth it around in small circles just to make sure it's perfectly smooth. I mean, if all else fails, keep building up the layer with the sponges until it's smooth. It does eventually smooth itself out. So yeah, so I'm going to take the tissue and I'm going to keep applying it in a V shape, making it quite thick towards the centre of my brows, and it does help to furrow your brow in between layers whilst it's drying, because it does tend to stick in that fashion, so it gives you the automatic furrowed brows. And then you can also take your thumbs and push the latex towards the centre to make it furrow. But yeah, there's loads of different methods, but the idea is just keep building up until you're happy with the shape. Okay, so the final result looks like something like this, so I don't look very happy at all. So as you can see, the edges I've only got about two then 1 layer of tissue on the end, but it's just latex, just so it tapers off into the edge. Yeah, and I've got this really furrowed brow. Nice and angry. So now I've done that, I'm not going to do the foundation next. Usually I would, but the mouth has got such fine details, and I'm terrible at drawing teeth. I'm going to draw the teeth on first, and then do the foundation afterwards, because it's a lot easier to fix it and not ruin the foundation if I've done it first. So from what I've read about the character, he's got no lips, so that should hopefully make it a little bit easier for me. So I'm going to paint on a row of teeth here, stop, and then draw them on higher, a new layer, leaving a gap of flesh in between. So I'm just going to take a regular eyebrow pencil, or lip pencil, doesn't really make a difference at the moment, and I'm just going to mark on where the sections of the teeth are going to be, just so I know where to draw them in. So there we are, so I've got 3 areas where I can draw the teeth in. So the side ones are a tiny bit higher than these ones, as I said before, they need to be a tiny bit offset. So then I can take some Snazaroo white watercolor, and I'm going to take a brush that's got a nice rounded tip, so I can cheat a tiny bit and I can draw the tooth shapes on with this. So I'm going to draw in all of the teeth, and I can go in with the black afterwards to neaten it up. Then I can take a Collection 2000 Extreme Eyeliner pen in black. Love these things, as you all know. And I'm going to start tracing on the shapes that I want around these teeth. I'm not going to go too far into the shading, because I'm going to do that with something else afterwards. Okay, so that's what I've got. So I'm not going to neaten it up just yet. I'm going to do the foundation now, and then I'll neaten it up and do some shading afterwards. But so far, that's the effect I've got. Okay, so I'm going to take a Kryolan TV Paint stick in 3W, if you can see that. Yep, it's basically a light skin shade. It's pretty much similar to my own skin shade. So I'm going to apply that all over my face and neck, and then I can powder that afterwards with some Grimas translucent powder just to make it not as shiny. So then I'm going to start on the shading around the teeth. So I'm going to use a Grimas brown cream in there 101, and I'm using that instead of black because it's just going to go better with the skin tone and everything. And I'm taking an angle brush. I'm going to, like I did my zombie boy tutorial, I'm going to start the concentrated colour on one tooth and then sweep the colour straight up. So if I just do one here, and then just blend that colour out into the skin, and I'm going to do that on every tooth. And then I can just go over the black lines again with the cream and just shade it in towards each tooth. Not completely uniform, it doesn't have to be completely neat, but it just needs a tiny bit more shading so it's not completely white. So then I'm going to take a sleek contouring palette in medium, 374 if that helps anyone out there, and it's got this gorgeous dark brown eyeshadow in well, I say eyeshadow, it's a shader, isn't it? But same thing. So I'm going to use that to contour really heavily my cheekbones just around here, because I want this side of the face to look really, really like emaciated, to add in the illusion that he's not got any cheeks. Then I'm just going to use that brown cream again just to add some more wrinkles in, so just to go down the furrows of the brow that I've got here, and just to go around the nostrils on my nose to make it look a tiny bit more pointed. Then I can just blend those colours in. Sorry, I just did this step and realised I hadn't got the sound on, so I'm just going to quickly explain it. I just took some of that shading eyeshadow again, and I've just gone really lightly in between each of these lines that I drew just to add a bit more shading, and I've made sure that I've kept these two areas completely clean of any of the eyeshadow. It just looks a bit more like fronds of skin, I suppose, holding it together. So then I can take my favourite Grimas black cream, the 101, and I'm going to use that to, I'm going to do it very much like my Jack Sparrow look. I'm going to cover my eyelid and ever so slightly underneath my eye, and then just blend it out really messily, just quite far. I don't want it to look too much like, obviously, makeup. I just want it to look like the eyes are proper sunken in the head and then peering out. That's the effect that the images I've got here seem to portray anyway. So I've blended it out to get that shape there, so it's going up the brow furrow there and just in the corners of the eye. Yeah, and ever so slightly up here, but I don't want to go too far on beyond the brow. Okay, so I'm going to blend the other eye and see what it looks like. Then I'm just going to line the waterline of both my eyes with a sleek ink pot in Dominatrix, so black. It's just a cream that's basically safe for the waterline of your eyes. It'll just make them look a little bit darker. So then it looks like that. I'm just going to take some more of that brown cream and just darken up the lines either side here just to make this look a lot more prominent. I was going to use latex, but I think I can get it with shading. We'll see. I think that looks a bit better. Yeah, this one of them ones where I'll just keep adding to it, so I think I'll stop for now. The costume, from what I can gather, as I've not seen it before, but the reference picture seems to be naked in most of them, so I would suggest either be naked or wear a morph suit maybe with muscles painted on, unless you're particularly lucky to have a really fit body. I'm unfortunately not, but imagination. But he seems to be not have any bits, so you might have to wear a morph suit that's padded. So yeah, I'll leave your imagination up to that. Yeah, so I'm just going to pop in some contact lenses and a wig, and we'll see what we've got. So there we are. So I finished the look off by applying a wig, which is the same wig that is my L tutorial. It's actually a dark brown wig that looks black on camera, but it's shoulder length in some areas. Yeah, I don't know. I've styled it to make it look a bit more anime and a bit more like the actual character. And I popped in 2 contact lenses, which I got from eyesbright.com, which are called Wolf lenses, I believe. I'll pop the link in the description bar below. I popped in 2, what they called, elf ears, I guess, like I used for my Ben Drown tutorial. Just regular cheap ears that I bought from Amazon, and I just pinned them to my wig. Yeah, and coloured them. So there's not much else I can do with this look, really. I mean, I hope this is okay. So yeah, that's my Eren Titan tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like it, please make sure to, you know, the usual rate, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye.